I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. My whole life, all I've seen is violence, drugs, gangs, prostitution. People killing one another. That was my life. My father, he was a very abusive guy. He was a very abusive guy. Like he had a short temper. At 4 years old, my dad had asked me to shoot a guy over a domino game he was playing. And the guy was kind of like laughing, like in front of him, like, you can't beat me, this and that. And I remember my dad getting really angry. Like I was watching him play. My dad just jumped up and ran in his house, and he came out with his gun. The other guy was really scared. He started screaming and crying and like, okay, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. And he goes, don't shoot me. And my dad was kind of like, yeah, I won't shoot you. Like, you're right, I won't shoot you. I'm going to let my son shoot you. He gave me the gun, and he was instructing me how to shoot the guy. He actually told me, point more at his heart, directing like, shoot. When I tell you you shoot right here between his chest. I got involved with gangs, started from age 4 to 7, and just like the kids and the child soldiers in Africa, it's the same here in the United States. Where I was from, Pompano, they train you as a child to be ready for the streets. As a child, I had marks all over my body because I was like a pit bull, like a fighting machine. And I always had to defend myself, and they just cage fight us. So. I was like a pit bull fight. Be a crowd of people in a circle, and they all just be cheering, passing money, or making bets on which side's gonna win and who's the strongest. You literally have to fight for your life. I mean, the average person would say it's horrible. When you're in this world, like you feel like you're blocked off from society. That's all you know. I ended up in the foster care system. One reason is because my school noticed a lot of markings and bruises in my body. And I guess in their minds, like, why would a little kid have such graphic bruises like this, you know? And I was in kindergarten, and the school came to my mom to kind of see, to kind of investigate, why does your son have so much bruises in his body? Are you abusing him? And she said, and when she said to me, I can't control my son, like he's out in the streets till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, fighting, doing all this type of crime. The first thing they did was bring me to the hospital. They wanted to make sure I wasn't like dying or to be sick.
I met Mez in 1994 when my wife and I were house parents. We were house parents for young children that were abused and abandoned and removed from their homes due to that abuse and neglect. And Mez was on that campus in the home right across the courtyard from us.
He was a mess. Probably one of the, and still is to this day, one of the most severely behavior challenged children I've ever met at an early age, just pretty much out of control.
I actually encountered Tom when I was, I think, 6 years old at Kids in Distress. And at that time, as a little kid, I hated Tom.
He used to actually walk around the campus like he was ready to fight somebody. He even had gloves that he cut the fingers off, and he walked around like they were ready to use them or punch someone.
I guess the reality is that he had this joy in his light that I never had, that I didn't understand, and it was a threat to me because it was tampering with my darkness.
Most of the professionals that were working with him really felt that this was going to be a child that would end up as a statistic, either in jail, dead, never make it to his teens.
No one within my life believed I can become someone. They didn't care about that. They saw otherwise.
Yeah, thinking back, when we first met Mez, my wife and I were both brand new to this field of work. So maybe we were naive. For some reason, we just had a belief that he would make it. And we told him that. He believed what we told him.
I think the world thinks that a child past a certain age or up to a certain age, will never recover, will never change behaviors, and I totally disagree with that. I believe every child has hope. The beauty of Mez's story is we never lived with Mez. We were like next door neighbors to Mez, but we always paid attention to him. We always, even when he was having severe behaviors, every time we saw him, we just made sure we had his attention. We gave him our full attention.
After a while, I saw that this is much better than the life I was living and what I was displaying. And these people, since they're proud of me, the first time someone was proud of me, I love that feeling, and I wanted to make them more proud of me.
These kids don't have hope or belief. So when one person reflects to them, or they see in that person, that person believes in them, it can change their whole lives. The story with Mez is we lost track with him. He was with us for a couple years in our lives and then in and out of our lives because he was in the foster care system. We moved on, he moved into different homes, but a lot of the places he lived in, he was abused, and the abuse didn't stop. There was a lot of abuse in his journey.
Whether it's being physically abused, sexually abused, or mentally abused, no one would believe you. No one would listen to you. No one would in a sense, defend you. The interesting thing, about foster care is when you turn 18 years old, they tell you you're an adult. I mean, you don't have any basic life skills, but they kick you out and you're an adult. In my case, that happened to me, and I didn't know what to do with my life. I've never been able to manage on my own. I never had the opportunity. I was never trained. So I was, in a sense, homeless. I had nowhere to go. I ended up in a homeless shelter. And that's when 4Kids came into my life. And that's where Tom knew who I was. And he remembered me. He was so persistent of making sure I got into the program and I got into the 4Kids home.
He got a hold of Tom and went into independent living, and then again our relationship started again. And in that role, Tom and I really just acted as what I would call his surrogate parent. During that whole time he was not with us, he still remembered he could trust, and that's invaluable.
I'm forever grateful that he looked past all the anger that I had and still granted me an opportunity.
When you see that the little that you did can result in a whole child's life completely changed, it's a great feeling.
When someone comes into your life and helps you and loves you, it really helps you let go of your burdens. And little by little, you're able to let the bad things go and be free. Having a male role model in my life played a major role. Before, we're all about violence and crime, and having a stable, well-minded, well-grounded, with a core foundation played the biggest role within my life. Now that I'm engaged with my fiance, now I know the kind of man, by observing Tom and observing Linda and them teaching me, now I know the kind of man, how to treat a woman, how to be patient with a woman, how to love a woman, how to be there for my kids, how to work my butt off. Now I'm an advocate for kids. I go to Tallahassee and help our Senate and our House and our governors and create bills and laws to protect kids in foster care, to give the government a perspective of what these kids need to help them. When I look at 4 kids, I don't see an organization, I don't see a system where in foster care I did. When I look at 4 kids, I see a family. Hope changes people. If it wasn't for the people that came into my life, I would never be the man I am today.
Imagine it's a beautiful day and you're taking a walk by this lake and your thoughts are suddenly interrupted by this scream. You turn and you see this little girl, she's drowning in the middle of the lake. Your mind starts racing like 1,000,000 miles a second. What's happening? How did she get here? Can she stay afloat a few more seconds? And then she goes under. She disappears. You're ready to dive in and then you realize you have your iPhone in your pocket. You have a brand new pair of shoes on. But she goes under, there's no more time. Do you dive in and save her? Or do you let her drown? After all, a child's life is worth more than a few $100s, right? Maybe this will never happen to you. But if it did, what would you do? You see, when kids are drowning in a lake on a regular basis, heroes get busy. They don't just dive in. They build fences, they post signs, they teach swimming lessons. But if we take the same scenario, but now instead of a girl drowning in the lake, it's a girl who's a victim of sexual abuse and domestic violence. She's drowning in a world of despair. She's one of 500,000 children in the United States with no family. She is a modern-day orphan. The kids we work with are just like your kids. They need a place to belong. They need someone to tuck them in at night. They want someone to look them in the eyes and say, I love you. You belong to me. For just $30 a month, you can change the world for one child. Your gift today will provide a child not only with food, clothes, and shelter, but a family that will love a child back to hope. Call us at 855-HERO4KIDS. It's 855-437-6454. Or visit us online at hero4kids.org. Be a hero for an American orphan. One person can change the world for one child.